You think it is a coincidence that you are hearing these words right now? You think your thumb just happened to slip, or the algorithm just happened to place this video in your path at this exact second. But let me tell you something. There are no coincidences in a world governed by a creator who knows the number of hairs on your head. You have been running. You have been busy. You have been drowning in the noise of a world that wants you distracted, weak, and silent. But someone has been trying to reach you. Not just once, not just twice. This is the third time. And in the kingdom of heaven. The number 3 signifies completion. It signifies a final warning before the door closes. Archangel Michael, the prince of the heavenly host, the one who cast the serpent out of the celestial realms, is standing at the perimeter of your life. He is not there to give you a pat on the back. He is there because you are a chosen one, and you are currently AWOL from your post. Do you feel that heavy sensation in your chest? That is not anxiety. That is the weight of a calling you have been trying to ignore. You were born for this specific hour in American history. You were born to be a light in a culture that has embraced darkness. But you have been playing small. You have been acting like a victim of your circumstances instead of the warrior you were designed to be. Look at the world around you. The systems are failing. The moral fabric of our nation is being torn apart by elites who think they can replace God. They want you scared. They want you dependent. They want you to believe that you are just another face in the crowd. But Michael is here to remind you of your true identity. You are a threat to the enemy's kingdom. That is why your life has been so hard lately. That is why the attacks have been coming from every side. The enemy doesn't waste ammunition on people who aren't a threat. He is terrified of what happens when you finally answer the call. He tried to reach you through that sudden urge to pray 3 weeks ago, but you turned on the TV instead. He tried to reach you through that person who spoke a strange, specific word of encouragement to you at the grocery store. But you brushed it off as a random encounter. Now, he is reaching you through this screen. This is the 3rd attempt. The general of God's army is waiting for your reply. He is holding a flaming sword, ready to fight for your family, ready to fight for your future, but he requires your yes. The elite powers of this world want to control your mind. They want to control your children. They want to bankrupt your spirit and your bank account. They are moving fast, pushing their globalist agendas, hoping you stay asleep. But a chosen one who is awake is more powerful than 1,000 bureaucrats in suits. You have a divine authority that they cannot understand and certainly cannot stop. But authority unused is authority lost. Why are you still hesitating? Is it fear? Fear is the weapon of the weak. Michael does not know fear because he knows the one who sits on the throne. If you are standing with the leader of the heavenly armies, what can a mere man do to you? What can a failing economy do to you? What can a corrupt system do to you? You are backed by the resources of heaven. You are part of a master plan that was written before the foundations of the world were laid. But here is the reality you need to face. This message isn't for everyone. Most people will scroll past this. Most people will stay in the matrix of comfort and compliance. But you aren't most people. You feel the fire in your bones. You know that you were made for more than just paying bills and dying. You were made for impact. You were made for victory. Archangel Michael is standing right there, waiting for you to stop looking at your problems and start looking at your commander. The clock is ticking. The shadows are growing longer over this land, but the darker the night, the brighter the light of the chosen. You have a role to play in the coming days that no one else can fill. If you don't stand up, who will if you don't protect your legacy? Who will? It is time to stop being a victim of the times and start being a leader of the turnaround. But before we go deeper into what this third call actually means for your life, we have to look at the specific strategy the enemy is using to keep you from answering. There is a reason why this specific moment feels so heavy. There is a reason why the pressure has intensified. And once you see the logic behind the attack, you will see the path to the counter-strike. Because the Prince of Heaven isn't just here to watch you struggle. He is here to lead the charge. Stay with me, because what I am about to reveal next will change how you see every struggle you have faced in the last year. You are about to understand why the battle for your soul has reached a fever pitch, and exactly how the master plan is unfolding right before your eyes. The moment you realize that you aren't just a spectator in this life, but a target, everything changes. You see, the enemy doesn't waste his elite forces on people who are already defeated. If your life has felt like a constant uphill battle lately, if you've felt a strange, suffocating pressure on your mind, your finances, or your family congratulations, you have officially been identified by the darkness as a threat. But here is what the world won't tell you. Archangel Michael is not just a protector. He is a strategist. And if he is reaching out to you for the third time, it's because the enemy has just overplayed his hand. Think about the logic of a counterstrike. In every great conflict, the aggressor moves first to create fear. They want to paralyze you. They want you to think that the global elites, the corrupt systems, and the rising chaos are invincible. They want you to look at your bank account and feel despair. They want you to look at the news and feel hopeless. This is a psychological blockade designed to keep the chosen one, you, from realizing that you carry the DNA of a conqueror. Archangel Michael is standing at the edge of your perimeter right now, whispering a command that the world is trying to drown out. Identify the trap, then spring the ambush. The first trap is the spirit of distraction. Have you noticed how hard it is to focus on your purpose lately? Every time you try to build something, to pray, or to lead your family, a dozen petty fires break out. An appliance breaks. A bill arrives. A needless argument starts. These are not accidents. These are flak shells fired by the enemy to keep you from reaching the altitude where you are dangerous. Michael is trying to tell you to stop fighting the symptoms and start fighting the source. This is the third time he's signaled you to get back to the master plan. He is waiting for you to stop reacting to the world and start commanding your atmosphere. Let's be real. You felt like you've been losing. You felt like a victim of a system that hates your values. You see the radical shifts in our culture, the way truth is being traded for lies, and you feel a righteous anger. That anger is a gift. It is the stirrings of a warrior. But the enemy wants to turn that anger into bitterness. Bitterness makes you heavy. Bitterness makes you slow. Michael is here to refine that fire. He is the one who stood before the throne and said, "Who is like unto God? He didn't ask for permission to defend the truth, and neither should you." Why now? Why is this third call happening in this specific season? Because we are approaching a great reveal. The shadows are being forced into the light. You are seeing things in the world today that used to be hidden. The corruption is no longer shy. It is arrogant. This is a sign that the enemy knows his time is short. When a cornered beast is at its most dangerous, The general of the Lord's army steps in. Michael is not here to help you cope with the collapse of society. He is here to help you build an ark. He is here to help you secure your household so that when the storm hits its peak, you aren't just surviving, you are thriving as a beacon for others. Consider the chosen one status. It sounds like a movie plot, doesn't it? But look at the history of America. Look at the men and women who stood up when everyone else was kneeling. They weren't special in the eyes of the world. They were workers, farmers, and parents who simply refused to let the fire go out. You have that same spirit. You have a divine mandate to occupy your territory, whether that's your business, your community, or your home, and hold the line. Archangel Michael is waiting for your reply because he has been commissioned to back you up. But here is the twist. Michael doesn't fight for people who won't fight for themselves. He is a reinforcement, not a replacement. He is looking for the bold. He is looking for the person who says, I don't care what the media says. I don't care what the experts say. I will stand with the Creator. The moment you make that decision, the entire power dynamic of your life shifts. The pressure you've been feeling, that was the enemy trying to crush the seed of greatness in you. But he forgot one thing: you are a seed that needs pressure to grow. The elite think they have the master plan. They have their digital currencies, their surveillance, and their agendas. But they don't have Michael. They don't have the host of heaven. And they definitely don't have the wild card that is a chosen one who has finally answered the call. You are the unpredictable variable in their equation. You are the one who disrupts the narrative. This third call is your final briefing before the shift. Michael is showing you the vulnerabilities in the enemy's wall. He is pointing to the areas in your life where you have been playing victim and asking you to step into victory. Are you worried about your children? Michael is a guardian of the innocent. Are you worried about your legacy? Michael is the protector of the faithful. But you must reply. You must acknowledge the presence of the commander. I want you to understand the intensity of this moment. This isn't a religious exercise. This is a strategic alignment. The world is getting louder because the truth is getting closer. The enemy is screaming because he is losing his grip on those who are waking up. And you, my friend, are wide awake. You can feel the shift in the air. You can see the patterns. You know that things cannot continue the way they are. But don't let that realization lead to fear. Fear is for the ones who don't know who is standing behind them. You have the Prince of the Heavenly Host waiting for your signal. He has been patient. He reached out once, and you were busy. He reached out twice, and you were tired. Now, he is reaching out the third time. This is the moment where you stop being a casualty and start being a commander. You might ask, how do I reply? It starts with a total refusal to be intimidated. It starts with an act of defiance against the spirit of the age. You align your words with God's words. You align your actions with the master plan. You stop asking for permission to be who you were born to be. The moment you stand up, you will feel the wind of the Spirit at your back. You will realize that you were never alone in that garage, or that office, or that hospital room. The general was always there. He was just waiting for you to look up. But there is a specific secret to this third call, a piece of information that changes the rules of engagement. There is a reason why the Archangel Michael specifically has been assigned to you in this hour. It's not just about protection. It's about a grand strategy that involves your unique talents and your unique location. The enemy thinks he has you pinned down, but he doesn't realize he's just walked into a trap. In the next part, we are going to break down the master plan for the chosen one. We are going to look at the exact steps you need to take to flip the script and turn your greatest struggle into your greatest victory. The general is ready. The army is mobilized. The only thing missing is you. The master plan is already in motion, and the enemy is terrified because he can't see the final move. You have to understand something about the way the kingdom operates. God doesn't just defeat the darkness. He humbles it. He uses the very things the enemy meant for your destruction to build the platform for your greatest victory. Archangel Michael is standing by your side right now, not just to shield you from the arrows, but to show you how to pick them up and fire them back. This is the grand strategy for the chosen one. This is why the third call is so vital. It's the moment the defensive posture ends and the counteroffensive begins. Why is it that the elite, the globalists, and the architects of chaos seem to have so much power? It's because they operate on a logic of control. They use fear, debt, and division to keep you in a state of constant survival. If you are worried about where your next meal is coming from, or if you are constantly arguing with your neighbor over politics, you aren't thinking about your divine mandate. But Archangel Michael is the prince of the higher ground. He sees the battlefield from the perspective of eternity. From where he stands, the unstoppable agendas of men look like dust in the wind. He is trying to pull your perspective up to his level. This is the third time he's reached out because the season of preparation is over. You've been through the fire. You've been through the isolation. You've felt like you were in a wilderness where no one heard your voice. But in the kingdom, the wilderness is where the warriors are forged. Moses, David, and even Jesus went into the wilderness before they stepped into their public calling. You weren't being punished by life, you were being processed for power. The hardships you faced in 2024 and 2025 were a brutal training ground designed to strip away your reliance on the system and force you to rely on the source. Now, look at the logic of the trap. The enemy thinks he has trapped the American people in a cycle of decline. He thinks the chosen ones are too tired to resist. But Michael is a general who specializes in the impossible turnaround. Remember, he is the one who stood up when the most beautiful and powerful angel in heaven, Lucifer, tried to lead a coup. Michael didn't have the flashy reputation back then. He was simply the one who stayed loyal. And because of that loyalty, he was given the authority to cast the dragon down. That same authority is being offered to you. Loyalty to the truth in a time of universal lies is the ultimate weapon. The master plan involves a concept called divine occupation. It means you stop waiting for a leader to save you, and you become the leader in your own sphere of influence. The enemy wants you to wait for 2028, or wait for a certain bill to pass, or wait for the economy to fix itself. Archangel Michael is saying, do not wait. The kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. This doesn't mean physical violence, it means spiritual and mental aggression. It means you occupy your business with excellence. You occupy your family with prayer and discipline. You occupy your community with the bold, unashamed truth of the Word of God. The enemy has been trying to bank on your silence. He assumes that because you are a person of faith, you will be nice and submissive while they strip away your freedoms and corrupt the next generation. But Michael isn't nice. He is holy, and holiness is a consuming fire. When you answer this third call, you are allowing that fire to burn away the spirit of the victim from your soul. You are realizing that as a chosen one, you are an ambassador of a kingdom that has never known a recession, never lost a war, and never feared a tyrant. Here is the secret the elites don't want you to know. Their power is an illusion built on your consent. The moment you stop consenting to their fear, their power evaporates. That's why the media is so loud. That's why they keep manufacturing crisis after crisis. They need your attention to stay focused on the shadows, so you don't see the light that is standing right behind you. Archangel Michael is here to disrupt your focus. He is pointing his sword toward the horizon, showing you that the reinforcements are already here. In the book of Daniel, it says that Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise in a time of distress such as has not happened from the beginning of nations. We are in that time. The distress is undeniable, but the arising is also undeniable. You are feeling a pull toward something bigger. You are feeling a desire to get your house in order, to get your health in order, and to get your spirit in order. That is the Michael effect. It is the preparation for the great alignment. You are a chosen one because you have the capacity to hold the frequency of truth when everyone else is falling for the delusion. You are the remnant that prevents the total collapse, but a remnant that stays hidden is useless. You are being called to the front lines. This might mean speaking up in a school board meeting. It might mean starting that faith-based business you've been dreaming about. It might mean simply being the one person in your family who refuses to bow to fear. Whatever it is, Michael is there to provide the strategic intel. He is waiting for your reply because he has the keys to the breakthrough in the kingdom. Breakthrough doesn't happen by accident. It happens by alignment. When your yes matches heaven's now, the mountain moves. This is the third time he's knocked on the door of your heart. In Hebrew tradition, 3 represents repetition for emphasis. It means the matter is settled by God. The call is no longer a suggestion. It is a summons. The enemy is watching this video too. You know, he hates that you are hearing this. He is already trying to send a distraction, a notification, a wandering thought, a doubt to make you forget these words the moment the video ends. But he can't stop the resonance in your spirit. He can't stop the fact that you recognize the voice of the commander. You are being activated. The chosen one isn't just a title. It's a job description. Your job is to be the point of contact between heaven and earth in your specific zip code. But you might be wondering, what if I'm not strong enough? What if I've made too many mistakes? That is exactly why Michael is the one reaching out. He knows what it's like to face a superior foe. He knows what it's like to stand when others fall. He doesn't choose the perfect. He chooses the available. Your mistakes are just data points for your testimony. Your weaknesses are just the places where God's strength is going to be most visible. The general is calling for a relentless response. He is looking for those who will not be bought, will not be bullied, and will not be bored into spiritual sleep. We are moving into a phase where the middle ground is disappearing. You are either with the light or you are with the shadows. By choosing to watch this, by choosing to listen to this third call, you are drawing a line in the sand. But there is a specific warning that Michael has for you regarding the next few months. There is a specific move the enemy is going to make to try and disqualify you before the breakthrough. It's a sophisticated psychological trap that has caught many before. But because you are being briefed by the Prince of the Heavenly Host, you are going to see it coming from a mile away. In the next part, we are going to expose this final trap and reveal the secret weapon that Michael is handing to you right now. This is the weapon that will guarantee your victory, no matter how chaotic the world becomes. The mobilization is happening. The atmosphere is shifting. Can you feel it? The king's general is waiting. It's time to give him your answer. The general of the Lord's army does not lead his troops into an ambush without a way out. He leads them into the battle to reveal the path through it. Archangel Michael is standing before you now, and he is handing you a briefing on the final trap the enemy is setting for the Chosen One. It is a subtle, invisible snare that has captured many powerful leaders, but it will not capture you. This trap is called the spirit of false delay. The enemy knows he cannot stop the sun from rising. He knows he cannot stop the master plan of the Creator. So, his only remaining strategy is to make you believe that the breakthrough is never coming. He wants you to think that because you haven't seen the big victory yet, your prayers have fallen on deaf ears. He wants you to believe that the globalists have already won, that the corruption is too deep to be uprooted, and that you are just a small, insignificant person shouting into a hurricane. This is a psychological war of attrition. They want to wear you down until you just give up and go back to sleep. But Michael is here to tell you that the delay is not a denial. It is a strategic positioning. In military terms, sometimes a commander holds his fire until the enemy has fully committed his forces to the field. If you strike too early, the enemy can retreat and regroup. But if you wait until the enemy is arrogant, until he thinks he has already won, that is when the counterstrike is most devastating. You are currently in the holding pattern of the kingdom. This is the third time Michael has reached out because the enemy has just stepped into the kill zone. The trap he set for you is about to snap shut on his own neck. Have you noticed how the elite seem more arrogant than ever? They are openly discussing things they used to hide in the shadow. They are bragging about their control over the systems of the world. This is not a sign of strength. It is a sign of a delusion of invincibility. In the book of Revelation, and throughout the history of Israel, every time a tyrant reached the peak of his pride, the intervention of heaven was swift and total. Archangel Michael is the instrument of that intervention. He is the great leveler. He is the one who reminds the kings of the earth that they are but men. The secret weapon he is handing you right now, the one that will dismantle the spirit of false delay, is the weapon of prophetic persistence. This isn't just hanging in there. This is an active, aggressive refusal to accept any reality that contradicts the word of God. The enemy says the economy is collapsing. You say, "My God shall supply all my needs according to his riches in glory." The enemy says your family is falling apart. You say, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." The enemy says you are alone. Michael stands behind you and says, "The host is with you." The reason you are a chosen one is that you have the spiritual grit to withstand the pressure of the weight. Most people are microwave Christians. They want the blessing in 30 seconds, or they lose faith. But you have the spirit of a pioneer. You have the heart of a minute man. You are ready at a moment's notice. You understand that the darkest hour is always just before the dawn. Archangel Michael is whispering to you, maintain your post. Do not break rank. The light is about to break. Look at the logic of the third call one more time. In American history, we've had moments where everything seemed lost. At Valley Forge, Washington's army was freezing, starving, and outgunned. The elites of the British Empire thought the revolution was over, but they didn't account for the divine intervention that favored the bold. Michael was there then, and he is here now. He is looking for that same Valley Forge spirit in you. He is looking for the person who will keep the fire burning even when the wood is wet and the wind is howling. The enemy's master plan is to create a caste system of the mind, the rulers and the ruled. They want to use technology to track your every move and fear to track your every thought. But they have a major flaw in their programming. They cannot account for the supernatural factor. They cannot account for a man or woman who is in direct communication with the Prince of the Heavenly Host. Michael provides you with divine intelligence. He gives you a gut feeling that tells you when to move and when to stand still. He gives you a discernment that cuts through the propaganda of the mainstream media like a hot knife through butter. Why is this message so urgent right now? Because we are moving into a window of transition. The structures of the old world are cracking. You can feel the instability. This instability is necessary. You cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. The corrupt systems must shake so that the things which cannot be shaken, the kingdom of God and his chosen ones, may remain. Michael is the one doing the shaking. He is the one pulling the rug out from under the giants of our day. If you feel like your life is being shaken, do not panic. The general is just clearing the debris so he can build a fortress. He is stripping away the things that would have made you vulnerable in the next season. He is making you lean. He is making you tough. He is making you anti-fragile. This is the third time he's signaled you because the Battle of the Gates is about to begin. The gates are the places of power, government, media, education, and finance. For too long, the chosen have stayed away from the gates. But Michael is leading a charge back to the gates. You are being called to take ground. This starts in the spirit, but it ends in the physical world. It ends with you being the most stable person in a chaotic room. It ends with you being the one who has the resources to help others when the systems fail. It ends with you being the leader of the counterattack. You are not a victim of the 21st century. You are the architect of the restoration. But there is a specific command Michael has for you regarding your words. Your tongue is the rudder of your ship. If you speak the language of the enemy, if you speak fear, defeat, and what-ifs, you are steering your ship right into the rocks. Michael is a being of command language. When he speaks, things happen. He is teaching you to speak with that same authority. Stop saying, "I hope I make it," and start saying, "I am more than a conqueror." Stop saying, "I'm so worried about the future," and start saying, "The future belongs to the faithful." The enemy is listening. When he hears you agree with his lies, he knows he has you. But when he hears you agree with Michael, he trembles. He knows that a chosen one who knows their authority is an unstoppable force. He knows that the third call is the point of no return. The atmosphere around you is thick with the presence of the host. You might not see the wings and the swords with your physical eyes, but your spirit knows they are there. You can feel the static electricity of a coming storm. But this is not a storm of destruction for you. It is a storm of cleansing. It is the wind of the Spirit blowing away the chaff. In the next part, we are going to look at the master stroke, the final move in Michael's strategy that will bring the enemy's house of cards crashing down. We are going to talk about the day of the great shift and how you need to prepare your heart and your household for the moment the order changes. The Prince of Heaven is not done talking to you yet. He has one more secret to share, the secret of the unfair advantage. The moment of the master stroke is here. You have to realize that in the high-stakes game of spiritual warfare, the enemy always relies on a front. They build a massive, intimidating facade of power to make you think their control is absolute. They control the screens, the banks, and the narratives. But Archangel Michael, the master strategist of the heavens, knows a secret that the global elite have forgotten: a structure built on a lie cannot survive the weight of the truth. This is the 5th stage of our journey, the stage of the unfair advantage. This is why Michael has reached out for the 3rd time. He is handing you the key to the collapse of the enemy's house of cards. What is the unfair advantage in the world's eyes? You are outnumbered, you are outspent, you are censored, but in the reality of the kingdom, you have access to divine logistics. Think about the story of Elisha in the Bible. His servant woke up, saw an entire army surrounding their city, and panicked. He saw the physical reality, the chariots, the horses, the overwhelming odds. But Elisha wasn't worried. He prayed a simple prayer: "Lord, open his eyes so he may see." And when the servant's eyes were opened, he saw the hills were filled with horses and chariots of fire. That was the host of heaven. That was Michael's legion. The unfair advantage is the realization that there are more with you than there are with them. The elite have technology, but you have the creator of the atoms that make that technology. They have plans, but you have the Alpha and the Omega, who knows the end from the beginning. Archangel Michael is here to remind you that you are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from victory. The masterstroke of this season is the Great Exposure. Michael is pulling back the curtain, and for the first time in generations, the American people and the chosen ones specifically are seeing the giants for what they really are: hollow, fearful, and desperate. Why do they want to control your food, your money, and your speech? Because they are terrified of your independence. A chosen one who is self-reliant under God is a person they cannot buy, a person they cannot bully. Michael is the Prince of Liberty. He is the one who stands for the sovereignty of the individual soul against the tyranny of the collective. This 3rd call is his instruction to you to decouple from the delusion. He is telling you to stop looking to the system for your security and start looking to the source. The master stroke involves a sudden, sharp shift in the economy of power. We have seen it throughout history. The Berlin Wall didn't fall because of a massive invasion. It fell because the truth became too heavy for the lie to hold. We are at that same tipping point in 2026. The chosen ones are the truth bearers. Your yes to Michael's 3rd call is like a spiritual short circuit in the enemy's grid. Every time you speak the truth, every time you refuse to bow to a corrupt mandate, every time you lead your family in prayer, you are creating a glitch in their matrix. But let's talk about the unfair advantage in your personal life. The enemy has tried to use your past against you. He's tried to use your debts, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual, to keep you in ucky. But Michael is a prince of justice. He is the one who enforces the blood covenant that says your debts are paid. This is the master stroke. The enemy thinks he has legal standing to harass your life. But Michael is stepping in as the heavy enforcement. But he is serving an eviction notice to the spirits of lack, fear, and infirmity that have been camping out in your territory. Why is this the 3rd time he's reached out? Because in the legal system of heaven, 3 witnesses establish a matter. The first call was an invitation. The second call was a warning. This third call is a legal decree. It means the grace period for the enemy's interference in your life is over. If you align with Michael now, you are stepping into a protected status. This doesn't mean life will be easy, but it means life will be fixed. The outcome is no longer in doubt. You are being moved from the battlefield to the command center. The elite think they are playing a game of chess, but they don't realize the board is on fire. They are so focused on their 2030 agenda that they have completely missed the Michael intervention. They are building digital prisons, but Michael is opening the prison doors from the inside. He is waking up the guards. He is turning the hearts of the people who were supposed to enforce the tyranny. Have you noticed the defections? Have you noticed the people in high places starting to speak out? That is the work of the Prince of the Host. He is infiltrating the infiltrators. As a chosen one, your role in the masterstroke is to be the anchor of reality. When the great shift happens, and it will happen suddenly, the masses will be in a state of shock. The systems they trusted will fail them. The experts they listened to will be proven wrong. In that moment, they will look for someone who isn't shaking. They will look for someone who has oil in their lamp. They will look for you. Michael is training you right now to be the first responder of the Spirit. He is making you shock-proof. This is why your small life is so important. You think your daily struggles don't matter. Michael sees them as drills. Every time you choose faith over fear in a small matter, you are hardening your spiritual armor. You are preparing for the moment when the unfair advantage becomes visible to the whole world. You are going to have insight when others have confusion. You are going to have provision when others have scarcity. You are going to have peace when the world has panic. The commander is waiting for your strategic alignment. He is asking you to let go of the victim narrative once and for all. A chosen one cannot be a victim. A warrior of Michael cannot be oppressed. You can be pressed, but not crushed. You can be persecuted, but not abandoned. This third call is the final gear shift. You are moving into a high-torque season where you will see more progress in the next 3 months than you have seen in the last 3 years. But there is a code of conduct for this unfair advantage. You cannot use the weapons of the enemy to fight the enemy. You cannot use hate to fight hate. You cannot use deception to fight deception. Michael's weapon is light, and light doesn't fight darkness. It simply displaces it. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere should change. The demons of drama and discord should feel uncomfortable. That is the Michael presence in you. We are moving toward the final part of this briefing, the payoff. This is where we look at the result of your yes. What does the new order look like for the chosen one? What happens when the chosen finally take their seat at the table of influence? The Archangel of the turnaround is about to show you the aftermath of the victory. He is about to show you the restoration of all things. The sound of the trumpet is growing louder. It's not just a religious symbol, it's a frequency of change. It's the sound of the old guard falling and the new breed rising. You are that new breed. You are the American lion, waking up from a long slumber. And the Prince of Heaven is standing right there, hand on your shoulder, saying, "It is time, let's finish this." This is the moment of the great activation. If you are still listening, it is because the resonance in your spirit has reached a frequency that the enemy can no longer dampen. Archangel Michael has brought you through the briefing, shown you the traps, and handed you the unfair advantage. Now, we enter the final phase of the strategy, the restoration of the chosen. This is the payoff for every tear you have shed in secret, every night you spent wondering if God had forgotten you, and every time you chose integrity when it would have been easier to sell your soul to the system. The third call is not just a summons to battle, it is an invitation to your coronation. The globalist elite and the architects of the Great Reset have a vision for the future where you own nothing and are happy. They want a world of sterile, digital compliance. But Michael, the Prince of the people of God, has a vision of the great restoration. He is the one who oversees the return of the stolen inheritance. In the kingdom of heaven, there is a law of sevenfold return. It states that when a thief is caught, he must pay back 7 times what he took. The enemy has been caught red-handed. He has stolen the peace of our nation, the innocence of our children, and the prosperity of the hard-working middle class. Michael is the high bailiff of heaven, and he is here to enforce the judgment of restitution. As a chosen one, you are the primary beneficiary of this decree, but you must understand the nature of the restoration. It doesn't mean things are going back to exactly how they were in the good old days. Those days are gone. And frankly, they weren't as good as we remember they were. The breeding ground for the corruption we see now. No, Michael is leading us into a new frontier. He is building a parallel society where the chosen operate on a different set of rules. While the world's systems are grinding to a halt under the weight of debt and deception, your system, the kingdom. System is gaining momentum. Think about the American dream. For decades, it was defined by material accumulation. But the new American dream, being birthed by the chosen, is defined by divine sovereignty. It is the freedom to live without the permission of a corrupt bureaucracy. It is the ability to protect your family's health, education, and wealth through God-given wisdom. Archangel Michael is the guardian of this sovereignty. He is the one who stands over the remnant and says, "This far and no further." He is creating a Goshen in the midst of Egypt, a place of light, while the rest of the land is in thick darkness. Why is the third call the final one for this season? Because we have reached a critical mass. There is a certain number of chosen ones required to trigger a spiritual chain reaction. We are at that number. Every person who says yes to this message is like a light being switched on in a dark house. Eventually, there is more light than dark, and the shadows have nowhere to hide. This is the great exposure we talked about earlier. The corruption is being exposed not just so we can be angry, but so it can be removed. Michael is the celestial janitor. He is sweeping the floor of our nation, and he is starting with the high places. But you have a responsibility in this restoration. You cannot be a passive consumer of miracles. You must be a producer of power. Archangel Michael is teaching you the art of the stand. When the system tries to pressure you, whether it's through your job, your bank, or your social circle, you don't rebel with anger. You resist with authority. You simply say, "I do not belong to that kingdom. I am a citizen of another realm, and my general is Michael." Mas, when you do that, you are invoking the diplomatic immunity of heaven. You are telling the enemy that if he touches you, he has to deal with the prince of the host. The payoff for your faithfulness is strategic influence. In the coming months, the people who mocked your old-fashioned values or your faith in God are going to be the ones coming to you for answers. When the expertise of the world fails, the discernment of the chosen will be the most valuable commodity on earth. Michael is positioning you to be a Joseph in a time of famine. He is giving you the dreams and the interpretations that will save your community. This is why you felt that strange urge to learn new skills, to get out of debt, or to move to a specific location. That was General Michael moving his pieces on the board. The enemy's master plan was to make you feel small. Michael's master plan is to show you that you are significant. You are the salt that prevents the rot. You are the leaven that changes the whole lump. This is the third time he's reached out because the dough is ready. The shift is no longer coming. It is here. You can see it in the eyes of the people on the street. They know something is wrong. They are looking for a North Star. You are that star. Archangel Michael is standing with his sword drawn, pointing toward the mountain of victory. He is not looking back at the chaos behind us. He is looking at the order ahead of us. He is calling you to level up. Stop thinking like a survivor and start thinking like a successor. You are the ones who will inherit the ruins of the enemy's kingdom and rebuild them for the glory of the Creator. You are the repairers of the breach. This is the end of the silent phase. For years, the chosen have been hidden and quiet. But the third call is the blast of the shofar. It is the signal to break the pitchers and let the light shine. Like Gideon's army, we are few, but we are focused. We don't need a majority. We need a mandate. And with Michael at our head, we have the ultimate mandate. The weight of this moment is heavy, but the yoke is easy. You don't have to carry the world on your shoulders. That's Michael's job. Your job is simply to stay in step with the commander. Listen for the still, small voice in the midst of the global noise. Follow the peace that passes all understanding. That peace is your GPS. If you have peace, you are in the will. If you have turmoil, realign. Archangel Michael is closing this briefing with a final salute to your spirit. He has watched your battles. He has seen your scars. He knows your name. This third call is his way of saying, "Well done, good and faithful warrior. The reinforcements have arrived. The tide has turned. Now, let us walk into the day of restoration together." The world will tell you this is crazy. Michael tells you it is inevitable. The elite will tell you it is impossible. Michael tells you it is finished. You are a chosen one. You are the counter-strike. You are the return of the king's justice. The third reply is yours to give. The atmosphere is waiting. The angels are watching. What say you? The journey we have taken together through these words is not just a story. It is a spiritual map for the times we are living in. If you have felt your heart racing, or a sense of homecoming in your soul as you listened, it is because your spiritual ears have finally tuned into the command frequency of heaven. Archangel Michael has delivered the message. The third call has been made. The chosen one has been alerted. The strategy has been revealed. Now, the only thing that remains is the execution. The meaning of this story is simple yet profound. You are more powerful than you have been led to believe. The entire world system, the media, the corrupt politicians, the global financiers has spent trillions of dollars and decades of effort just to keep you from realizing one thing, that with God on your side and Michael at your back, you are an unstoppable disruptor of darkness. The chosen one is not someone with a perfect life, but someone with a perfect purpose. Your purpose is to be the living evidence that the Creator has not abandoned the earth, and specifically, He has not abandoned the heart of this nation. The lesson for you today is to trust the process of the wilderness. Every struggle you've had, the financial hits, the betrayals, the loneliness was just resistance training for the restoration. You cannot lead a counterattack if you haven't survived the ambush. You have survived. You are still here. You are still standing. That alone is a miracle that should terrify the enemy. It proves that his best shot wasn't enough to take you out. As we close this video, remember that the third call is a boundary marker. It marks the end of your passive season and the beginning of your active season. You are no longer waiting for a change. You are the change. You are the one who brings the atmosphere of heaven into the chaos of earth. When you walk into your home, your workplace, or your church, you are bringing the Michael presence with you. You are bringing the unfair advantage. Archangel Michael is still there. You know, he doesn't leave just because the video ends. He is a prince who protects your people. He is standing guard over your sleep, over your children, and over your next move. Your reply to him doesn't need to be fancy or religious. It just needs to be total. It needs to be commander. I am reporting for duty. I am a chosen one. Lead the way. The great shift is underway. The house of cards is trembling. The light is breaking through the global shadows. You are part of the master plan. You are the secret weapon. Never forget that. Never let the screen tell you who you are. Let the sword tell you. You are a warrior of the Most High, and your victory is written in the stars. If this message resonated with your spirit, if you felt the Michael effect stirring in your soul, then you are part of this remnant. We need to know who is standing with us. If you accept your calling as a chosen one, and you are ready to stand with the host of heaven, please comment 999 below. This is your digital signal that you have heard the third call and you are reporting for duty. If you feel like you aren't quite ready, or if this message challenged you in a way you didn't like, please comment 0. I want to know your perspective so I can continue to sharpen the content and deliver the truth even more effectively. Or leave a comment with your own story. Have you felt Archangel Michael reaching out to you? Have you seen the master plan unfolding in your own life? We want to hear your testimony. Your words might be the mini hook that wakes up another chosen one. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We are building a command center for the chosen, and your presence here gives us the spiritual momentum to keep fighting the information war. We have more briefings coming, more strategic intel, and more direct messages from the heart of the kingdom. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Stand tall, stay bold. The Prince of the Host is with you. The battle is the Lord's, and the victory belongs to the faithful. God bless you, and God bless the chosen.